And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Otis, as we begin Monday.
You don't want to get too close because I got sinus congestion.
Well, you sound different, that's for sure. I've questioned Odie with a flashlight several times, and he swears he's not sick. I'm going with sick.
My sinuses. They is whooping me.
You know, what do they do? You put your head over a pot with steam, and that's supposed to clear your head out?
So yesterday.
Oh, no, it was Nick Dundee I'm thinking of, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was clogged up, and my chest was clear. So I took some medicine, my whole head cleared up, now my chest is. That's why I don't take medicine.
I'm saying sick, y'all. That's what we're going to go with here. Let's see here. As we begin this Monday, be careful, number one, as school buses are rolling throughout the communities. We want y'all to be safe as we get about. We did have some accidents over the weekend that we will get to there. Did y'all hear me talking about the NFL? No, there was the NBA.
The Sixers, wasn't it?
Yeah, $193 million for a contract for 3 years.
Ooh.
And the rest of us argue over $40,000 a year.
Yeah. You know why they do that?
Because
people are paying the outrageous ticket prices.
Harris has accepted an invitation for a third debate. Trump says, I ain't going. You can go, but I ain't going to be there. It would be by CNN, I think is where it would have been.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's not coming to it. He's already said over and over that's not going to happen. So
let's put it out.
They keep pushing.
That I bet we can talk to Dr. Huebner and get MCC to help out. And I say me and you do the next debate between Trump and Harris. Strictly level across the board.
No, they don't do. You can't do anything political at a school. So,
all right, well, we'll do it.
We'd have to do it downtown Dumont Plaza.
We can do that too.
But
because it's only going to be the four of us.
Not happening though. If you were really thinking that a debate would happen, it's not. Y'all can bet on it. And every poll, and let me be honest about this, if there's a poll out there, don't believe it at this point. Yeah. Just wait it out. There's just no way to tell anything. The polls are up in the air. Looks like they're getting ready to pass something to keep the government from shutting down once again. How often does that happen that they do that?
About every 2 years.
Yeah. So they're trying to stop that before that becomes a problem this morning. The guy that was found in the woods, remember the sleuth from YouTube that went out in the woods?
Yeah.
That body was 100% identified as that shooter that was out there. We're going to go out on a limb and most likely say that this was self-inflicted. That's what we're going to guess. Another thing that is still a mystery, there's lots of rumor, there's lots of talk of what happened with the sheriff and the judge as we go to Kentucky to talk about that. Some say the judge had done something that the sheriff couldn't handle, took the law into his own hands. They had a ceremony, a funeral over the weekend. He has gone to jail. He's been arrested, the sheriff has. We do not know the behind-the-scene footage yet of what went on.
It was something major.
What would make a sheriff snap like that? Walks in, asks, can he speak to the judge, goes behind it, they hear an argument, and next thing you know, the judge is dead.
Well, you said it the other day, and I think you had it right on there. There was a female involved somewhere.
Whether it's a daughter, a cousin, a child, we don't know.
Wife.
But, yeah, we think something is suspicious there. Again, can we prove that? No. Boy. So good to see each and every one of y'all waking up. We hadn't heard from you on an anniversary yet. Please let us know.
We got one.
We do?
Yeah. She said her and her husband. She didn't give her husband's name.
Did you say happy birthday to Eddie Seipel? Eddie's up there at the Seipel's Mills getting ready to make some flour, I would imagine, this time of year, isn't he?
Are they still open?
Oh, yeah. Been open since 1700.
Now that they have.
They ain't stopping today.
Okay.
You may have to grind it yourself, but it's still there. check it all out. So happy birthday to Eddie. If you hadn't got yours into us yet, please do so.
You know, used to you drive up there, and if they wasn't open, they had the box set up there. You could go pick what you wanted and still do your honor box and get some good flour and cornmeal.
I think that's how it still goes about there. Again, we got a lot of who's and do's and who done what from over the weekend. Plus, we'll find out from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes what's going on. Hillary, Ty, they're in the office with us. We'll find out what they need next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Everything starts with a great grill, cookware, and accessories. Add in locally sourced meat and dairy, frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, and daybeds and have fun with our cornhole boards. From animal print coolers to authentic Louis Vuitton purses, we have what you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
And welcome back. Just how tall is Neil Henry? 8 foot?
Real close. He just walks up to the basketball goal and pushes it in.
It's always a shadow when he's around me. We hope Neil's doing good this
And
morning.
that's above the hat.
Yes, it is. Way up there. Do hope your day is going well. As we mentioned, Hillary and Ty are in the office. And what are y'all out doing today?
Good morning. We came to see y'all.
Yeah. Something
like
going
that.
on out at the church?
Yes, at Collinsville First Baptist on September 29th. It is a night for the King. And it's 6th through 12th grade, and we always have a really, really good turnout.
Well, I came last year, blown away by the amount of kids that come to this.
It is so good. It's grown every year by a couple hundred at least.
Now, last year's numbers were what?
Like 600 plus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to sign up before you come, or is this just
No,
come
just
as you
show
are?
up. Yeah, the doors open at 5. So it's September 29th. Doors open at 5. We'll start about 5:30. It's all student-led, student testimony, student scripture, stuff like that. Student-led worship. It's actually the Collinsville First Baptist. It's their youth that will be singing. And so it's going to be a really good night in the Lord.
So everybody that doesn't quite understand what a night is called, a night
for the King.
A night for the King.
Yeah.
And if you don't know exactly what this is, give a little bit more deeper description of who comes to it, who leads it up, and how it comes about.
Okay, so it's an FCA event, and we're partnered with Collinsville First Baptist. It is all schools are welcome.
Middle high.
Yes.
Any
6th
county?
through 12th grade. Yeah, any county. We've had some from Newton, from all over. And so it is open to everyone 6th through 12th grade. That's all it is. It's youth. We want to reach the youth. We want to impact them. We actually have 3 different speakers this year. One from Northeast, West Lauderdale, and Meridian High. So it's going to be a good night.
Now,
Really good
last
night.
year, McDonald's was majorly involved. Are they helping out again this year?
We're not doing food this year.
You're not?
No, not this year. You weren't supposed to say that.
Oh, well, I didn't get a memo.
Yeah, we didn't.
I'm just kidding. But no, we're not going to do food this year. But we will have amazing speakers and amazing worship. We'll have prayer time. It's really going to be a good night.
The one thing that impresses me about this is the one key is this is student-led. This is
Yes.
led by the kids that is teaching other kids what Christ has done in their life.
That's
I
right.
mean, how awesome is that?
That's right. That is it.
Very much a good thing that our schools need, our kids need. And then Clarke County, are they welcome?
Oh,
Newton
goodness,
County
yeah.
and
Everyone.
Philadelphia. Well, that's awesome to reach out and get as many kids close to Christ as we can get them.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
with
the
that-
purpose.
Y'all do a lot of other things, FCA. Y'all go to schools. Your district is what?
Lauderdale and Kemper County, and I've actually picked up Enterprise recently, so that's good.
Good deal.
Yeah, and Ty does the same, covers the same
The Kemper
area.
and Lauderdale. She covers a little more ground because she's like one of the only females. We're limited there, so
Right.
she has a lot of schools.
So back to the schools, and with that comes fundraising. What is your next event that you're going to do outside of this that y'all are preparing for, trying to get done?
With FC Outdoors, we have a bass series every year, and it's basically 7 tournaments or 6 tournaments in a classic. And our first one's October 26th at Oak Tibby. And you can go to FCA Bass Series Greater Meridian Facebook page, and there's more information about that.
So fishing up and around the corner, and have you already got sponsors lined up on that, or you need more on that?
We need some more. We're working on it, but we're actually going and going a lot of places and businesses, people, just families, trying to get more support for that. And it's
Normally we have about 30 boats. Am I right?
yeah, about 30 give or take boats. Yeah, every tournament usually.
And so it's really growing too.
We preach the gospel every tournament before weigh-in. People can win the money, but before they get the money, they got to hear the gospel.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
So the big event that we're discussing this morning, and if you're just waking up, tuning into this, is a night's. Let me turn that off. That threw me off. I'm sure there was somebody trying to sell me insurance.
That's right. That's right.
Car warranty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I need one of those. A night for the king.
Yes.
You won't be fed. We just found out as we got the memo on that. But it will be some great fellowship that is going on. Give us the dates and time again to come out and be a part of it, and who do they need to call if they need more information.
You can call us. You can reach out to us on Facebook. It's Hillary Ford, Ty Ford. I'll give my cell phone number, 251-654-4344. And the date, again, is September 29th. Starts at, the doors open at 5. We start about 5:30. Student-led worship and word.
All right. Well, anything that we've left off.
Eat before you get there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Go by McDonald's and grab you something to eat and eat on the way.
Yes, that's
it.
it.
Anything that we've left off?
We'll be giving out Bibles, too. So if you need a Bible when you get there, let us know, and we'll have them for you.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much for being a part of this with us
Yeah.
each year, and we'll be out there that night as well. We always like to show up with that because it's a blessing
It's
just
good.
to see.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Hillary,
Thank y'all.
thank y'all. Ty, same for you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. She looks a little bit better than Ty does. I think most of
Yeah, and everybody else said that too. So.
We'll be right back as we travel along this early Monday morning, getting your day started with Scotty Ray Report.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
Hey, this is Greg, and everybody knows I love to eat good food. So when you're out and about, come on down to Long's Fish Camp. Been here for over 50 years serving some of the South's best fried fish, hush puppies, shrimp, and hey, don't forget the coleslaw. Probably the best anywhere in the world. Excellent food, excellent service. Drive on down to Enterprise, Mississippi, and enjoy your food from Long's. Remember, at Long's, everybody's family.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. There was an incident earlier this morning, somewhere around 4 a.m. if you were traveling Highway 512 in Clarke County, somewhere around where County Road 130 is. You might have encountered, a light pole laying in the road.
Ow.
That's what went down as we take a look here of what went on.
Al's Garden.
As we look at this, that just ain't cooperating right. We had someone strike the light pole. It knocked it down. And I think in the end it ended up being telephone lines that were knocked down.
Not a power line.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that no one could get it didn't energize like that other is. So that's what we found out this morning there that happened in Clarke County. Everybody's safe, no injuries from the wreck, but it sure did slow things down just a little bit there.
Good deal.
That's what we found out. Now, this was put out yesterday as we look at this from the sheriff's office. It did not mention a particular incident. It mentioned that something was out that was floating around from the sheriff's department that didn't need to be. That somebody may have made a threat. It didn't give any type specific incident, but the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department went through the different ways that you could report it if you suspected something. It was brought to the attention of SRO officers. They in turn got in touch with the sheriff, and then it was handled from there. And whatever it was turned out to be not legitimate.
It came from another state.
Yeah.
And then someone, of course, Facebook reaches everywhere, and they got it and started pushing it out like it was from here. And that was not true. And they're making a big push. If you see something like that, you need to give that to the authorities and not push that out over social media to the public, because you can be in trouble for pushing that false information out. Yeah, don't forward it out. Give it to the authorities. Report it to the group that you got it from the media. If you got it off of Facebook, report it to Facebook. If you got it off TikTok, report it to TikTok. But don't just forward that out, because you could get in trouble with
And always contact the sheriff's department and let them know. That's how that was solved at Clarkdale, if you'll remember on that.
That's right.
So that is good news on that. And again, I've been asked several times, well, what it was. I don't know much more than it was fake, is what I've been told. A lot of other talks have begun, but basically that's what we know about that at this point. Last night, as we look at this, we had a little fire. A car, if you're going up 14th Street toward the hospitals. You know where the pawn shop is on the right before you get to Total Pain?
Yeah.
This is the scene here as we look at this. Had a little fire there last night. They responded to it. Nothing major, but boy, did it look like it was some kind of big deal.
Looks like they got off the road, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it did there. So that
Meridian Fire Department, boy, they're right there, Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, fire trucks were rolling and they put it out. They are quick, some of the best there is in the community. So thank you to all of them for what they did yesterday as well. Now this has been turned in as we go here to find out about what went on in Clarke County.
Man,
we had someone shot, and I believe to be a minor that was rushed to the hospital with a wound to the foot. That happened, I believe, was it Friday night? Or was it Thursday night? Friday night?
Was it Thursday night? Because I think we talked about it on Friday's show.
Right, we sure did. And
so it was Thursday night.
Yesterday, the person that they were looking for turned themselves in to Clarke County authorities, and that we will probably hear more about this morning as we see this here. Here's the guy.
If I know Anthony, and I know Anthony, he's going to have a press conference or put out a nice statement on this. He is definitely going to let the public know that what's taking place now, what the next step is.
And I'm curious what the next step is. What was this about? Where a ball game where kids were playing.
All right, so, and I know this, you're going to talk about this, but so right here in Clarke County, a little small shootout at a park where football and cheer and all that was taking place. No due regard for the other people around.
Correct.
One person that was targeted, supposedly this guy's running one way, shooting a gun behind him. Look what just took place over the weekend in Birmingham.
Whew.
They're after one person, and yet they shoot hundreds of rounds amongst everybody for one person.
4 people were killed.
4 people killed, 19 injured, 17 injured.
17 injured from what I'm...
No due regard for anybody out there at all. Could have been their family members. They didn't care.
Now, what I don't know a lot about Birmingham. It's been a few years, but apparently this is, I guess, kind of, if you were to compare it to Nashville, that strip down there where all the clubs are. Apparently
Beale
there's
Street or something.
It's down there where, what was the name of it? Boy, I almost had it. that main drag on down there, where Printer's Alley sort of place, where all the honky tonks are. As you look at this, apparently Birmingham has an area of town where there's a lot of activity there. A lot of people standing out, walking, and they drive by. The police department does not know whether it was a drive-by or a walk-by. They got out of a car and just walked up and done this. But they do feel that it was a target, and the person that they were after is deceased, but it took out others. And they could have been at a downtown parade. They could have been anywhere when these people made the attempt to take that one person out.
It could have been somewhere where a bunch of kids were at. There's no due regard.
And Donna is right. Everything is moved from Printer's Alley in Nashville over to Broadway now. That's where all the restaurants are, the stars in those areas there. Now, another thing, and I don't have any information. I'm going to have just, because I don't, number one, understand it. I've gotten a little bit from my wife, and I've gotten a little bit from Debbie about what's going on. P. Diddy.
Ooh.
Man, this is like major. Who else is going to go down on this? And somebody, I don't know Justin Bieber music, but I was played a song that it really described. I went to a P. Diddy party, and did I give up for all this, my life, my soul, for fame and fortune? And apparently he did. He offered $50 million in his mama's house to the government to let him out, and they said no. $50 million. That tells us they've got something big, and most likely there's going to be others that knew about this that may have been involved in some criminal activity.
Well, they know as soon as he gets out, he's getting out of here. He's got enough resources. He's leaving here, and he's going to somewhere that they cannot bring him back.
With that being said, I just know the name, and I mentioned him last week because I don't know his music. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about 50 Cent. But 50 Cent been on this for a year or two. He's been trolling him for a year or two. And I guess you could say the guy kind of knew what he was talking about all along. This is
knew it was somebody not to get involved with.
Yeah, he did. And as cuckoo as this other guy is, Kanye, and he is cuckoo.
Oh, yeah.
He'll tell you in a minute, you can dig, you can do what you want. I'm innocent of anything like that. He got other issues. But, you get into R. Kelly, you get into this, and does Usher, and I've heard that name, does he have something to do with it? This is major, major stuff that is taking place that is against a lot of children. It sounds as though to get a record deal, things were done, and then you were...
Chapter 2, on suicide watch now. Yeah, well... He's on suicide watch like Epstein was, if y'all believe that.
Same jail, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, camera's gonna go out. Y'all watch.
That just, everybody knew that was going to happen to him. He knew too much, and they can say all they want. It was flaw, and sign me up for the encyclopedias.
That's it. Let me get out of there. J-Lo, Rick Ross. I've heard those names. Being brought into this.
Did you see the video, Odie, of his, was it his first wife or whatever, that he whooped up on in a hallway? He was wearing a robe, and he kicked her and kicked her?
She took meticulous notes. And I think that's what really jump-started this. Sure she is? I don't think so.
Okay.
But I think that's what took place to jumpstart this investigation, was she had so much stuff documented that they didn't have a choice but to go with it. Oprah, I hadn't heard
heard that, and I hadn't heard Taylor Swift.
And I hadn't heard Taylor Swift either. Taylor's got her own problems.
But with this being said, let's look at the big picture of what's going on here. It's about power. That's what this is all about, controlling another person. Does this happen in other areas? Yep. Does it have to be a rock musician or rap musician? No. This can go into any entity in America. Boy, that's a tough one to say.
That is. That's a sentence.
It can happen in California. It can happen there. It can happen in Mississippi. And it can happen in Meridian on a smaller level. Y'all, this stuff is...
Child trafficking does happen here. And it's something that we all need to be a part of learning how to identify possible
But this was
Child
not about it. You know, of course he was making money, but when you get into what he is doing, from what I gather from it, it was totally about controlling another person and making them do something that he wanted. Now, y'all think long and hard about that. It was his desires. Sick, and more sick. And boy, the baby oil jokes have just been everywhere since then. 1,000 bottles of it seized? Hello, Odie.
Yeah. All right, so that's something that's come out, Sandra. If I was Diddy, I'd name names. And I've heard that that's something that he is doing as far as, okay, look, what can we do to bring this down off of me a little bit? And I will give you everybody across the board. And I'll go for that to an extent. You don't get off 100% scot-free. But we'll make a little deal if you give me everybody else so we can get everybody involved in this.
And see, and this goes back to what you've already said. A camera goes out so that cannot happen.
That's what happened to Epstein. I'm telling y'all, he didn't do this.
Just small faults from two guys.
Yeah, from Mississippi in the backwoods.
Not that we know anything, but that's sort of and all of this is still coming. Each day there's new information, and it is intriguing to try to figure out who, what, and why. As we get that information, we will pass that along to you. Speaking of things, and we'll come back to the great flood of downtown Meridian over the weekend, but let's look at this, because we hadn't talked about this. Hurricane. Yeah. Is it possible in our area? It sure is. Let me pull this up and show you. Here we are. Here's radar. This is the projected path of what we're expecting here to go somewhere toward Florida. Can this change? It sure can. We're expecting this to possibly be a major hurricane. There's no way to say it's going to be a 1, 2, 3, or 4 at this point, but they are predicting that it could become a major one with serious storms on it. Now, the good news for Mississippi, if you'll see these spaghetti models that are right here in the middle, they're right there on the Bama-Georgia line, which puts Mississippi to the west, Louisiana, and Texas on the west side of this. The worst of the storm is always on the east side of the storm.
Definitely.
And I brought this up earlier before you came in, Odie, that there's a lot of people that try to panic people with weather. That's not what we do. It's too early to start making claims of what it's going to do without it. And we're not going to panic people when there's no reason. I know there's been a lot of people saying this is coming straight up Mississippi and Meridian better hide.
There's one a long spaghetti model out there that has it coming up the west side of Alabama. Chances are that's not going to be the path it takes. If it does, it's still on our east side, which that's what we want. We don't know. Nobody really knows. You take these storms and say, okay, here's the entire weather forecast for the next couple of days. Here's what the weather's doing today. Here's the temperature of all of the waters it's around. Here's where the storms come from. Here's where it's headed now. What do the computers put together? So it goes in there and tracks every historical storm, and it tracks all that data, and they go back and say, all right, this storm matches these 4 or 5 storms with the weather coming up, the temperature of the water, and this is what that storm did 10, 15, 20 years ago. This is the path that we could most likely see this hurricane take. It is a prediction, and no one knows exactly where this storm's going to go. It is a very good guess. These doctors will take the information, and they are real good at trying to predict where this is going to go using computer models and trying to find an exact place that it's going to come into land.
And I think we both like Reed.
Oh, I tell you, he is something else. And he came to one of our conventions and spoke.
Needs a new hairdo, but that's okay.
He's a character. He's going to get out and chase it.
I like him.
I do too. But you said the key word, we're not trying to scare anybody. We want you
Exactly.
to know what possibilities are out there.
When
and
it
we
does
want you to be
change.
prepared when it does change.
And we will let you know when it starts to be a threat to any way. And wherever it goes, we're going to tell you. Hey, I mentioned the great flood of Meridian over
The
the
great
weekend.
flood, get your canoe out.
Here we go. And you did need a canoe as we take a look here. This is downtown Meridian, Front Street, right by Tony's Southern Sportsman. Look at this.
Man.
Early yesterday morning, I was out. Look at that. That's Mike Rice Auctions
Wow.
there. And as you look at Tony's Southern Sportsman, that's singing Brakeman Park. Major water leak.
Well, I heard that the crawfish cooking's going to be back down that way this year. I was wondering if they was going to try and raise some crawdads before it was time.
Apparently what was going on, but that gives you a full view of what was going on. With this truck in the distance, I took some pictures. They blocked it off right here by the train station. There was no water up there. It did get up near Tony's front door. It did not go in. And then they were calling in crews to come work on it yesterday morning. But that we've had a bunch of holes and spews. I don't know what's caused all this.
Well, I think they've got all the parts they need. Everything's in place, and I think that's something they'll be
Went down
putting
to Lowe's, got
together.
some PVC pipe. Some glue.
Yeah. They got a little bit of that blue glue. So I think it's going to take them probably all day long to get this fixed, but I think they're going to be repaired, back going again, and
because I had
this
several
thing
people
back
go,
charged
whoa,
up.
no wonder I got low water pressure.
Yeah.
That was it. So we'll
old pipes, you're right.
It is. We'll be right back. Scotty Ray and Otis. It is Monday morning as we wake up to somewhere around 69 now. Climbing
feels
toward
great.
94, though. Heat index 97. Though.
There goes my
run you.
sinuses. Yeah.
You're messed up. We'll be right back. Looking for a great place to eat? Well, come explore the great flavors of the French Quarter in downtown Enterprise. Whether you're in the mood for a romantic night out, a family dinner, or a cozy atmosphere with great service that make dining with the French Quarter an unforgettable experience. Drop by today and taste our delicious dishes. Come explore the flavors of the French Quarter. 120 West Bridge Street, downtown Enterprise. Call 601-659-0500, the French Quarter. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're building it, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Working on a big project? Need reliable equipment? Paris Tractor has you covered. From skid steers to excavators, tractors to trenchers, we have top quality equipment for rent on a project-to-project basis. All our equipment is expertly maintained for peak performance, ensuring you get the job done right. Our team is here to help you choose the perfect machinery for your needs with flexible rental terms to fit any project. Call us or visit ParisRents.com to rent your equipment today. Come see us at Paris Tractor, where we're more than a tractor store.
Welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray and Odie as we go back for a time in history. This is always one of my highlights. I learn something every time I put this together. 1875. We're not saying that he was an attractive young man, but he did get noticed. He was the oof of the day.
Yeah, Billy the Kid. Everybody knew who he was. They might not wanted to look at him.
He got arrested for the very first time today.
If I looked like that, I'd be mad too.
He broke out of jail and...
Now, he started out kind of like a Robin Hood, didn't he? And then it just kind of went out of hand, got out of hand.
The Lincoln County Wars and what it all amounted to, Billy was right. He had a best friend that was killed by a rancher for his land.
Yeah.
He takes up for him and fights the system and becomes an outlaw. And that's how it all began there. And, of course, one of his friends ended up killing him.
Joe did.
Pat. What was his name? Pat Garrett.
Pat
Garrett would be the one. Unsure if he was shot in the back or what, but fooled by a friend. That's how it all went down in the end.
He died right then. He got shot in the back.
Yeah. And just like Jesse, conspiracy theory say that Jesse rode off into the sunset and it was all planned.
Yeah.
They also think Elvis. And I went back this weekend, now that you brought that up, and for the life of me, maybe his last name is Jordan.
I believe that's, and I saved a video, and I was going to show you this morning. Yeah.
The preacher that sounds like Elvis, and everybody goes, it's Elvis. Now, I'll give you credit. It sounds a whole lot like Elvis. It ain't Elvis, but he's got it.
He refused. This thing says he refused to take a DNA test. His birthday is the same. His son is a Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that line up. He only came out like 3 years ago when this guy got noticed, or something like that, and that would have been the time that his
Non-compete.
protection order from the government was to come to an end. It's some of these conspiracy theories I like to watch.
Let's break it down. If you signed an agreement with the federal government to hide for 25 years, and your daughter was about to marry Michael Jackson, wouldn't you have broke the contract?
I'd have come on
No,
out then.
you'd have said, "No, ain't happening."
Yeah. If I sign something and got to have protection, it ain't gonna be for a few years.
But I'll say, y'all look that up. A preacher that sounds like Elvis, and we think his last name is Jordan. The guy is extremely good. Elvis would be 89 now.
And see, this guy just doesn't look 89 years old.
No, he looks like maybe 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in 1930, I Can't Stop Loving You. And another one was Georgia, Georgia on my mind. As we go back to remember, Ray Charles, born on this date back in 1930. Completely blind, made a legend out of himself.
Oh, man.
And he was good.
I mean, just...
I got a woman
play.
way across town.
He had a couple of them.
He sure did there. This guy, I only know him because of Willie.
Pat Joyce.
Is that his name?
That's the preacher's name. Look him up and listen to him.
Are you sure Bob Johnson?
Yeah, it's Pat Joyce, I'm
It is?
pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the guy is good. Anyway, this guy here, I only know him because of Willie. Because to all the girls I've loved before, they say he speaks 14 different languages, had hits, and all of them has sold millions and millions. Julio has a birthday today, born in 1949.
He could do it.
Julio is, y'all will never stop a vehicle and find any of that on my phone. He's just not my.
Maybe it's Bob. I had to put both of them together. But I think it's, Bob Joyce.
Is his name?
Yeah, is his name.
The guy is extremely good. Elvis looked 89 years ago.
Well,
there at the end, it wasn't looking good. He was sick, without a doubt. Tom Lester, y'all know him from Green Acres as Ebb, also born. Jackson, Mississippi is where he came from. He lived south of Jackson all his life.
Yeah.
I think he made some great donations to the state of Mississippi upon his death. I think he done a lot of great things there. But
he's done some showcases and come around and did some small talks around town before.
Didn't he do? He was the vinyl siding guy, wasn't he?
He was.
Brought wrestling to the state of Mississippi. Who was those guys? What were their names? The siding people.
That's what I'm trying to think. Something Side Co.
Something like that. It's been
Yeah.
That was early 90s?
That was when telemarketing or
Call Right Now.
Yeah.
Back in the day. This guy is so political that I can't listen to his music anymore. 1949, The Boss was born. Bruce Springsteen, known to others there.
Yeah, started out good, and boy, he went.
He's left there.
Yes, he has.
What was his big song, Glory Days? Glory Days, yeah. It would be 1952. This would be the last one that would go down in history. 3 songs were recorded today, or was it more than that? I think it was Kalijah, Your Cheating Heart, and Take These Chains From My Heart, as he walked out of a studio, and that would be it. Little did we know that it would never happen again. Hank Williams, the last recordings were made today.
Brett and Beverly both got it. Lead Co.
The Lead Co. Shuffle.
Lead Co. Shuffle. Call right now before this program ends. Get 15% off.
And they did. They vinyl sided
on
some
the
houses.
Infomercials. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, it was. I don't know anything about the mafia.
Don't make me laugh too hard.
It's kind of scary there. But they also did wrestling, didn't they? Wasn't that the same bunch, or was that just the owner of it? It was I thought I could be wrong. It used to be out
I
of
don't know.
Frank
I'm trying to
Cochran Center.
think. Yeah.
I want to say that they were the main sponsors of that, if I remember that. 1957, that'll be the day it went number one. A guy named from Lubbock, Texas, had it.
Oh, Buddy Holly.
He was a skinny fella.
He was a little bitty feller. Yeah.
But he was good. I thought Happiness was Lubbock, Texas, in a rearview mirror.
Oh, it might not come on today because all that is this day in history. But Annette, Hank Williams was 100 years old yesterday.
Sure was. My hero of all time.
And there's my granddaughter. Hey, Violet, Pawpaw loves you, baby girl. And Braylon, wherever he's at, he's hiding in his phone somewhere.
I hate we don't have Greg here to tell us this because he probably watched this episode last night.
Oh, yeah.
This was the episode where Barney got his finger hung in his gun.
If he didn't watch it, he could still tell you about it.
1960, it came on TV tonight, September the 23rd. It's when Barney got his finger hung in there.
You had one bullet.
That show still makes me laugh to this day.
Yes, it does. All right. So since we're talking about, golly, what's his name?
Barney?
Andy Griffith. Matlock. Last night, Matlock came on.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it.
Oh, the new one.
The new one. I watched it because I'm not going to not watch Matlock.
But it's not the same Matlock, Cody.
It is not the same Matlock. Now, if they would have named this any other thing out there, I'd have never watched it. But I watched it. And I think it was a great ploy to get people like me and others to watch it. It is not about Matlock. I'm not going to give that away. But I will say, go watch it. Because I will watch that series. I thought it was pretty doggone good. I don't watch many sitcoms like that off of major networks anymore. But because of the name, I watched it. So I recommend this new Matlock.
So you're saying it's good?
I'm saying it's good. I never thought I'd have done it, but I found me a new show. I will continue to watch it, and I can't tell you why because I do not want to give anything away.
I would. I'll have to see. I'd have to give it a test.
You'll like it. It's worth it. Kathy Bates did awesome, but you will be blindsided.
Well,
no, it's not related to the original Matlock.
And she's
at all.
quitting the job I saw last week. She's already announced her retirement from it.
I hope not.
I really think. I don't know. I'll have to. As they say, the congregation's still out on this. I'll have to look at it there.
Yep.
1962, this show would begin. It was so futuristic, and so much of it is real now. The Jetsons. It premiered on this tape back in 62. Can you believe that?
It was a CBS, Ann and Chris. It was a CBS. So if you got Paramount, go on Paramount and you can watch it. That was the original one, and now the series will restart and kick up from on.
And the only reason I had that looked like I was questioning Odie, I watched a trailer to it, and I thought, I'd like to watch paint dry. After watching the trailer did not hook me, Odie.
Me neither.
I mean,
it was strictly Matlock is what hooked me because that's my favorite show. And I almost said, I'm not watching that. And I said, no, I'm not going to not watch it. And boy, I'm glad I did.
1972, this would be the beginning of a guy that you would know real well. When you're sitting all alone in a motel room, all by yourself. And you look in the mirror and you have to write a song. Well, he had another one on this day in 72 called Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me, Mac Davis. And you, of course, you'll know him. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble. Be perfect in every way. Of course, he wrote songs for Elvis and was a great songwriter. He done a lot there along the way there.
Yeah.
This was one of those shows that as a kid I watched because I like Robert Conrad. Go ahead, knock those batteries off my shoulder and see what happens to you. Baba Black Sheep premiered today. It was a war TV show, if you will remember that. Flew around in airplanes, and you always heard that motor, very distinctive sound. What else went on today? Oh, they made a change back in '77.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They chunked my hero off of the show. And surprisingly, she was only on it for a year and made that huge of an impact. The rest of everybody else would live in her shadow from there on.
Yeah.
Charlie's Angels took out Farrah and put in Cheryl Ladd.
It was good, but not with Cheryl.
Yeah,
and Cheryl was good. I didn't have no problem. But yeah,
that Winnebago would pull up in the parking lot of the hospital.
And it wasn't a very good one either.
What was his name? I'll have to think of it. But it was Trapper John, MD, premiered tonight. And that little guy there, he's the one who lived in the camper outside.
Yep.
And I'll think of his name in just a little bit. And, of course, that is, what's his name from Bonanza? Adam Cartwright.
Mm-hmm.
In case you didn't know that. I love this movie. I absolutely 100%.
I watched it, but don't really remember it.
Oh, it was good. He disappears at the end. Eddie and the Cruisers premiered in 1980 on the dark side.
Yep.
Tender Moment. Yeah, I love that show.
Like
it was good. We go back to '86. One of the songs that still sticks out when you think of his name.
Wow.
He always says, "Well, I've got some."
All my exes live in Texas.
George Strait, off of the Oceanfront Property album. There, that was big. And this would ironic that this happened today.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Matlock premiered back in '86 on this date, Odie.
Yeah. I wanted to be an attorney. After watching, I was like, I'm going to go to law school, and then I joined the Navy.
Nope, that never. I watched Chuck Norris in Invasion USA, and I thought, pretty cool, but I don't want to do that. But you want to be an attorney?
I wanted to be an attorney because after Matlock, I was like, that'd be fun.
Did you watch this and think, I'd like to be a swimsuit?
No, I was a lifeguard, but I didn't want to be over there with them. I wanted to just go watch.
Somebody said that David Hasselhoff was in the TV show. It can't be confirmed.
We heard he was in there somewhere. Kit dropped him off.
We just can't confirm it. No one's ever seen him on the show. Whatever reason, that show was big too.
It was huge. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. These are the guys that faked it, right?
Yeah. They lip synced every song they had and did good with it. And then they got busted. And that was
somebody
all she wrote.
The cord or something at a
I can't remember how they got caught. A lot of your concerts are lip sync.
Oh yeah.
But it is really them singing. They just lip sync during the concert. Now these guys lip sync everything.
I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. I was not a part of what you would call the in crowd at high school. I know there was tons of kids that done this, but
they didn't have the cowboy crew.
I was the only one in the flannel country look. I was it. I broke the mold. There was really nobody else in my. I didn't hang out with the folks that listened to all that.
The CD skipped during the concert.
Well, they should have thought.
Check that out. Daniel Switzer, the man from Coca-Cola, and that's who you need to call. If you want to drink a good old Coca-Cola, Daniel Switzer down at Meridian Coca-Cola could get you started on a day like today.
Paul Reiser, we brought him up earlier this week for being in My Two Dads, which none of us remember. He was also in this one. This was the girl from Twister, if you'll remember her. Mad About You premiered.
And I think she's in the new Twister as well, isn't she?
I thought she died.
Did she?
He died, but Bill Paxton died. Maybe she's still alive.
Paxton died.
But I don't know. Is she in it?
I don't know. I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Working on it.
Any good? Has anybody seen it?
Yeah, let us. Oh, now that movie, yeah, it's good.
I second Odie on this one of being a good show. It cannot come on television. It's like a law that says you can't change the channel if you come up on this.
Can you say it?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. You've been practicing.
I did. I had to pause there for a moment.
She's not in it. She's not in the new one.
Is it any good, Donna? Is it any good? Tell me that thumbs up or down on that movie there. But one of the best prison movies there ever was, of an innocent man going to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what else happened. Carrying Your Love With Me. George Strait would have another #1 today. Actually, it was released there. 96. That's been a year or two ago.
It has been.
I have never watched this. Nor do I ever plan on watching this.
I watched it for 5 minutes and said, no way, Jose.
But I know that it was a major TV show. Modern Family premiered. I don't get it, don't understand it, and it has that.
It ain't modern.
Yeah, it has that woman who is she Spanish? Does she talk to her?
Yeah.
She's been in a lot of shows, but anyway, it's just not me. And Al Bundy was in it.
Yeah. That's the only reason I watched it, to see what he was in. And I said, no, that.
And Peg is in something else. I forget the name of the new movie that she's in, but I don't recognize Peggy.
I'll have to look. I hope it's better than what Al turned out to be.
More on the way. Scotty Ray and Odie, good morning. As the seasons change, so do your clothes. And Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Habo shirts, long and short sleeve. Also Hulk shirts. And America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Welcome back, Scotty Ray and Odie, as this morning goes underway. As I was down fishing Front Street this weekend, I couldn't help but notice the large amount of police cars.
Right down the road from
What's
there.
going on? Oh, here we go. Oh, look, someone broke into the store once again. This is the Dollar General Front Street railroad track. Right down here is where that is. This is becoming an all too familiar scene. Here's the railroad tracks here. Directly across the street is the Chicken Basket as you're going into downtown where the train station is. But once again, thieves would break into this. I cannot tell you how many times that store has been broken into, just over and over and over.
And it's one of the new Dollar Generals.
Yeah. So that's what happened there. Now, let's talk about this, and we'll go back to the other. Unless, I don't know if anybody's even investigated this yet, but I went on out this weekend to the cemetery that's by the highway, Meridian Memorial Park.
Meridian Memorial.
This is by the
Highway
train.
80.
You've been there many a time.
Yeah. This is something that we got called one night, and there was a tractor trailer stuck. Not under the bridge, but in the graveyard. When we got there, it was stuck, and he had run over 2 or 3 graves. He didn't do this kind of damage. But this right here, you better bring yourself in, turn yourself in, and go ask Almighty God for some blessings. Because what you did right here was plain, simply wrong.
Now, it hasn't rained. I don't know if anybody's gone out and took pictures of the actual. There was another place that I had to go to quickly. I videoed this, and then I had to move on to another incident that had happened. But I want to show y'all this. This is the cemetery where an 18-wheeler drove through the cemetery on top of graves. And let's just hit play here.
He knew he did damage. This
You see all of that?
Didn't just sneak up on him. Yeah, this is.
Odie, let me just pause this for a split second.
And people use that. A couple of them use that as a turnaround because they don't read the signs. They can't see that this is a low bridge.
But
and
look
they
at this,
turn
Odie.
around.
Let me minimize this where you can see this. Is that 2 loops through there?
Don't know if it's 2 loops or if it was another truck. But definitely a truck, whether one truck made 2 loops or 2 trucks come in there and made a loop trying to get out of there. Because a GPS, you got 2 GPSs out there. You got a GPS that we'd put a little TomTom or whatever in our vehicles and go on our way. And then there's one for 18-wheeler big trucks. The one for your 18-wheeler big trucks is a lot more expensive than your little old TomTom out there. So they use these old TomToms to try and save a few dollars. And TomTom says, hey, go this way, you'll be okay. But the big truck GPS tells you can't go that way because of a low bridge. And that's why they continue to hit it. They can't read English, most of them.
Let's look at this. I think this truck made several laps. I want you to look at this. This really, really looks to me to where here's your first tracks, here's a second set, and then there's an outer Well, also,
Could be.
I think this truck made 3 laps through there. Now, I was asked, do I think this has anything to do with the truck that was overturned in downtown Meridian? It very well could be. I think tire tracks need to be some pictures taken and compared. I don't know that that's what happened. It could have been someone else. It's just suspicious that it got noticed about the same time. Again, look at this.
I would test that
Look
out.
at that. That's one set. This is 2 sets, and then there's an outer. There ain't no 18-wheeler that wide.
No. And there's a low bridge back there. So it was either he sat there and you'd have to have been intoxicated or something to sit there and make circles. Something has to be mentally wrong with you to run directly over graves like that. This one truck that we had made it out because he got stuck run over one. I could see
Was it in the dark and
blind
did he-
spot, and it was dark, and I could see that. I don't think it was good,
But it wasn't.
and he
in-
had to pay. But that right there to me is intentional. And I hope they find out who it is.
I do too. Boy, oh boy, let's go to Philadelphia. Main Street is where it all happened. What is that? We see smoke as we
not a
look at
cloud.
this. And again, as we come down through here, look at those pictures.
Wow, beautiful home.
That is, as you can see, the fire through the front door there. We did have one firefighter that got heat exhaustion, Odie, that had to sit down. No injuries. The house was empty. I think it's an abandoned home. The owners of it had been over there working and went to town, come back, and it was on fire. But we just had one firefighter that overheated, nothing serious, and he had to chill out for a second. But everybody ended up being okay. This could have been a whole different story. That was big news for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everybody that sent us stuff. Here's some more angles of this. Look at there. Major damage there. Battalion chief, he got him in a new pick-em-up truck.
So Scott brought up a point there, and we're not going to go back on it. Go back and look yourself when we go off and replay. There's some pictures on your page too, but it does kind of look like that may not have been an 18-wheeler on one because it didn't have enough sets of dually tires.
It could have been a dump truck. I don't know.
Or it could have been just a big dually truck. We don't know, but
ain't no dually truck gonna leave them marks.
It'd have to be heavy.
Ain't no way.
But if there was a trailer behind there would have been another set of dually right there beside it because that trailer's not going to stay in line with the tractor, not going around a curve. There's some investigating. I hope that they do real good on that. Like somebody said, hate crime. You daggum right. Girl, that's a hate crime. How you look at it, that was purpose.
And I have not talked to Ward about this. I don't know if because this is in the county, is it not?
I believe it is.
That is right outside.
I think it's right there outside on the county line. Yeah.
So we'll see there. Some other things that happened this weekend. We had an accident I-20 this weekend, mile marker 169 at the Kiwani. Truck is going down the road, bumps another truck, and then slams. For the best I can understand, slams into a guardrail. Nonetheless, we don't know whose fault or anything like that, but we know that 2 trucks bumped some kind of a way. One went into the rail, then diesel fuel starts spilling out 100, 150 feet, something like that.
Yeah.
Here's what we've got as we go here to take a look at these pictures here. There's the truck as we go down. Flames. Major damage there as it hit that guardrail. Look at that tire.
Man, ripped that completely off.
Yeah. And this is it. It was fully involved when firefighters arrived on the scene. Major. And I think I've got video of the fire. I think I did. I don't know what I've done with it.
Carrying a herbicide, which in itself is not hazardous, but when it gets hot, the vapors are extremely hazardous. So everything was shut down there for a little while.
There we go.
While firefighters got that put out and made sure that there was no hazmat leaking from the vehicle. Great job to everybody that responded there.
Yeah, that was a big scene this weekend. Yeah. And the traffic, what was it, 3 hours?
Close to 3 hours that it was completely locked down there.
We don't know if any cows that were waiting this time, right?
Hadn't heard of any.
And I say that because there was an accident one day that there was a cattle trailer, and it was in the middle of the day, broad open sunlight, and the cows needed to be cool.
And you couldn't just spray them down with water because then they would get hot and evaporate without wind blowing on them. Man, that turned into a heck of a deal that we sat there and worked, trying to find a way to get those cows cooled.
Let me show this picture. 29th Avenue, I was out Saturday. I believe it was Saturday morning. It was before I went to the car show. There was an accident with some possible injuries, 29th Avenue, and I arrived on the scene, and I first noticed there was a mailbox gone. Then I noticed a Tahoe down the road damaged on the back end, and then I noticed that, a light pole had got struck. And from what I'm told of witnesses on the scene, there was a nice lady that blacked out for a moment, and she just ran off the road and couldn't control her vehicle. Here's a still shot of that. Police were on scene. No major injuries. She was taken to be checked out. But, this could be anything from blood pressure. Anything can cause someone to black out for a moment. And could have been much worse. And as I talked to the guy, he goes, it's just a dent. I'm going to be okay in his vehicle that was struck. And so that's what went on 29th Avenue early Saturday morning. It was at 21st Street is where that was. More coming up. Scotty Ray and Otis on this Monday morning. Back to work you go.
Ooh, yeah.
When it's time to store something, think Store Local Storage. It's conveniently located next to Northeast Park, and it's gated. On top of that, it's climate control, so no matter the season, it'll protect your things. 24-hour security, a covered loading dock, fire sprinklers, and you can choose the storage unit that suits your needs. From a 5x5 all the way up to a 10x30, you choose the space that you need. Call Store Local Storage today at 601-490-1618, Highway 39 North, Meridian. The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger, plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rock House Gun & Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rock House Gun & Pawn.
Hi folks, Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have two locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
We have to say thank you to folks who go that extra mile to help somebody. Couldn't help but notice I saw Cindy Covington sitting on the side of the road there in a big crane beside her, and I thought, well, I should investigate this.
Was she operating the crane?
She was all over it. New sign for the Meridian Little Theater. It looks absolutely nice. It's brightly. And none of this, if you had noticed, none of this was up here.
No, that was that's strictly a new additive.
So we have to say a big thank you to Melanie and Manny for donating this. Absolutely at no charge to the Meridian Little Theater. And they also made a huge donation to have the roof repaired. So theater will continue in Meridian, and we appreciate them doing that.
The Mitchell family and Mitchell Signs, I mean, that was awesome what they did for Meridian Little Theater.
And I made a post about this last night, and we send out heartfelt condolences this morning to this man because he's a friend to many. He's done so much for our community. As we all know him as Chief Randall Davis, the police chief of Marion. His father passed away, and I didn't even realize it until after the fact. The news did not reach me. I believe they buried him on Saturday. Here's a picture of his dad that they placed there at the funeral home. He was a baseball player, and as I said, if Randall is a quarter of what his dad was, imagine how good a man he was.
Oh man, I tell you, because Randall doesn't slow down. Chief, you are the chief of a chief. You are a man's man that does what's right. And I know.
And we think of you during that difficult time because each of us have been through things like this in life. And y'all keep him in mind because he's a good man, and it's tough losing your dad. I think they meant a lot to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Clarkdale? Man, they had it going on Saturday.
Clarkdale had something going on?
Yeah, they did. As we look here, a bunch of kids there.
Man.
They little fall fest going on there this afternoon as we saw that. Let's see what else we had this weekend. I went to the car show, and I'm trying to find, I don't guess I've got my pictures pulled up.
Row.
Yeah, the car show in Marion over at the Shriners. Went there this weekend. They had a big turnout for that also.
Good deal. Good deal.
And so that's what we had going there. We need to do some birthdays, Odie. Who's got some?
We got a little list. Of course, this is Monday. So going back to Saturday, we had Teresa Nestor had a birthday, Scott Jolly, Eric Waddell, Madeline Miller, and Chelsea Harrington had a birthday Saturday. Sunday is Sarah Perry, happy birthday. Amy Reed, Karen Winboard had a birthday yesterday. And let's see, Jenny Green's got a birthday today. Anitra and her husband had a anniversary Saturday. Joseph Patterson's got a birthday. Christy Turk had a birthday yesterday. Lisa Smiley turned 65 yesterday. Lee Taylor's got a birthday today. Mark Keaton, 51 years young today. And Rita Knowles got a birthday. So
happy birthday,
happy
Rita.
anniversary. Happy birthday to everyone this morning.
I didn't realize that this is who this was on ABC, that Christopher Reeve's son was a correspondent. And we're talking about the guy who played Superman.
Well, I didn't know that either.
I had no clue, but he's a correspondent on there, and he does several things for ABC News. Look, I want y'all, and the reason I bring this up is the resemblance, and this is from Daily Mail, the differences of how he looks just like his daddy. Look at that.
I wouldn't have recognized him until he put his glasses on.
Yeah, but he does look like his daddy.
Yeah.
So, but he says he has no ambition to become an actor because, well, he's not good at it. He said, I can talk, but I ain't no actor.
If he works for ABC, he's a real good actor. I'm sorry, I did not mean to say that out loud.
Odie was thinking out loud again. Shame on you.
My bad.
Hey, there's a rumor out that Mississippi State lost again this weekend. Any truth to that?
I heard that.
I heard that.
I know Hottie Toddy won.
Was there any truth to that? They're putting $8 million into the football program at State, and they used it all to buy tickets to go watch Alabama play?
May have. And then when they got there, Alabama didn't even play. So they just
I'm a State fan, but it ain't looking good this year, y'all.
Y'all let them dogs out, and y'all ain't put them back in yet.
If you can't laugh at yourself, well, you just can't. It's going to be a long, long year of a lot of losses that we might add.
Oh, man, yeah, Hottie Toddy 4-0.
But until they really get serious about a football program and hire a coach, and y'all know the rest of that story. It's going to be like this.
Oh, well.
Every year. Well, how bad did they lose? Anybody know the score? I don't see a score.
Oh, you know what else?
What?
He came from Mississippi State.
What's
He
that?
was good there for a little while. But I think old Dak got whooped up on too, didn't he?
Has he ever thrown a pass that scored in the NFL?
First couple of years, I mean, he was top notch. I mean, way, way up here. I mean, he was just awesome.
I don't watch now, so I don't know. I watched that when he wasn't making any money, when they didn't. But I don't know what he does now.
Nah, it's $90-something million a year, I think. Now, and he hadn't done flip. I think they whooped up on them again yesterday.
The Cowboys have not even been in a Super Bowl since he's been there, have they?
They've been in postseason, but I don't think they've been in the Super Bowl.
No, they ain't. It ain't working out so well.
Well, I think over there, Jerry Jones is the problem. You own the thing. Go sit in the box and hire somebody to run your team for you. Because you hadn't been real good at it.
MSU's quarterback is out for the rest of the year. Imagine that. So is the coach.
MSU's quarterback. Well, yeah, he said, I quit. I'm not going to be the only one that plays.
Ole Miss, is Ole Miss doing okay this year?
4-0.
Oh, that's good.
Of course, We ain't played nobody.
Yeah, it's a bunch
nobody
of
has. It's first 4 games. I think this is when you start really getting in to see something. Yeah.
When does Ole Miss play Bama? And I don't know this before I ask this. Is Bama any good with this new coach?
Well, same thing. They hadn't played anybody. And 2 weeks ago, they played a team that liked to tore them up.
Okay.
They came back and won. So we don't know because they're in the middle of playing nobody. We will find out next week because Georgia and Alabama play. But since Kiffin has done so good with Alabama, with Ole Miss, Alabama said, we don't want no part of y'all, and they refused to play us this year. So Ole Miss and Alabama will not play unless they end up in the postseason.
So they don't play
against
Bama
each other.
or Auburn.
Yeah.
Didn't Auburn get like major loss to an unknown lefty college?
Yeah. They were supposed to be, and woo,
didn't do so
they
well
went
there.
down. But yeah, was it Michigan that liked to took out Bama, Susan? It was one of them that it come down to like the last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Spanked by Florida. Somebody's disagreeing with Yodi on something. I don't know what it is that you told.
Trump will be at. I heard that Trump will be at the game. Auburn lost to Arkansas.
Well, there you go. That's what we know about college football this weekend. At the end of the day, State lost.
And Alabama refused to play Ole Miss.
Oh, is that what you said? They said?
Well, it's got to be. But look on the schedule; they're not on there.
Yeah, we don't know how it came about. As we leave each and every day, we leave you with a Bible verse. Have you got one for us today?
Well, it
Odie?
won't take but just a half a second.
Okay,
because
I'll grab that up there.
We don't do a whole lot of studying right here. We grab what the Lord sends us.
What did He send you today?
We go at Luke 12, verse 40. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. We don't know when. And God is the only one that does know when. He's going to send His Son to come back. But if you look at all tattletale signs, we are getting close. And the only way to make it in through heaven is through Jesus Christ Himself. And we've got to stay prepared and be ready for when He does come back. We will go home with Him. And all we've got to do is invite Him into our heart and ask Him to forgive us of our sins. Man, He'll make a difference in your day. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Start this week off with a smile. Start your week off with a little Jesus and carry Him through your life each and every day. We'll be back in a little less than 23 hours for your Tuesday morning. Until then, remember, there's one thing for sure. Scotty Ray love you and hope you have a great day.